you'll see a lot of electrolyte brands out there which are kind of positioned as for everyone. Problem is with that, like, not everyone really needs to be having an electrolyte drink.
Exactly.
We started out with this can in a citrus flavor, positioned for runners, especially the goal-oriented athlete. Really, it's like this $2 kind of luxury item in a way. We've got Target launch in just less than a month.
Come on!
Wow.
Closely followed by Walmart.
Mattie, it is great to connect with you, my friend.
Yeah, so good to be on. This is awesome.
I've been following Cadence from afar. I think the brand positioning and the products you guys are rolling out and the focus on runners and athletes and really dominating that endurance athlete space, it reminds me a lot of what we did at Bruce Bolt, although different, not a consumable, not a replenishable. Man, if you would, and Colin, you should really drive this, but if you would just give us a little perspective on, man, who you guys are, what you do, and how you have accomplished this kind of luxury type frame for what some people might think is this is just a race to the bottom, hydration, as cheap as possible, and just give us a little perspective on that, if you would.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, at the core, really, we're a hydration, and we like to say fueling brand as well. So, fueling athletes, predominantly, that's where we kind of really position. We started out with this can in a citrus flavor. And then, we rolled out that can, then came the sachets, and then, fueling the athlete, like the goal-oriented athlete, really. So, I mean, yeah, like, I like to look at this can, and it looks great on shelf, it looks great on the website. I think straight away it was set up design-wise to kind of have this luxury premium positioning, and ultimately it's a can that people are happy to take a picture of when they get one. They'll take a picture of it, put it on the story. It's very shareable. I think having that element where it's like this $2 kind of luxury item in a way, which really kind of positions you as a user as well. Like, it's just great for our word of mouth. It's great to kind of build organically, and we really leaned into that, especially the first year. After launching, we were really brand focused. If you look on the Instagram, you'll see brand focus. Ross is a super dialed guy on building brand, especially. I think that's just lent itself to a lot of kind of success we've had so far. I mean, just if I think about my team a year ago, kind of on digital channels, got a designer, got a photographer, got a couple of partnerships guys, and those positions in a way were just like primed for building brand. Especially when you think about communities. I know community is like a bit of a buzzword right now, but like community groups, events, activation, like all of them need a drink. Like, there's not many categories where you can go to any event that you want to go to and like be able to provide something for that event, which people need. I think not to drone on too much, but I think the position for runners especially has been a really good starting point for us. You'll see a lot of electrolyte brands out there which are kind of positioned as kind of for everyone. The problem is with that, like, not everyone really needs to be having an electrolyte drink or an electrolyte powder. Like, so I mean, starting from the ingredients profile, we're perfect really for having before, during, and after a workout. And ultimately, that's led to us having people actually seeing the effects from having the product, feeling the benefits. We did a customer survey where I think 94.5% of our customers say that they actively feel results from the we lent into a really does require the product, which again, when we look at e-com and DC, like, again, it naturally lends itself to great lifetime value essentially, which then allows us to push on the performance side. But yeah, sorry, I just droned on a little bit then, but
all good.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, this is incredible framing here. Go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the brand itself. I love cola. That's my personal favorite. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I do it for after workouts, and I also do it for after the sauna. I would love to talk to you about channels as well, what you're excited about for channels moving into 2026, because you have this luxury positioning already. What are you excited about as far as, the channels that you're really fired up about? Because you have to maintain this luxury position.
Yeah.
Are you interested in real life? I would imagine that'd be amazing activation for you. Maybe long form YouTube. Is there anything, maybe TikTok? Is there anything you guys are like, if we can nail this, we're going to explode?
Yeah. So, I mean, last year was very much, as a business, very D2C focused in a way. We've had, we've had a few retail launches. So Vitamin Shop and GNC are like the big ones so far this year. However, though, we're looking at, wider distribution across the US and across the UK as well. So, we've got to really think about what's going to have the impact there. So up until now, like I said, we've done a lot of activation, a lot of community stuff, a lot on social. We really didn't, to be honest with you, I actually only hired someone to like run the ads for me back here 2 weeks before Black Friday.
Wow.
In November. And yeah, I mean, he came in and just started killing it immediately. Obviously, we ran ads up until then, but we never really put a big emphasis on scaling them just from a resource perspective internally. But he's come in and just straight away has been killing it. January's been awesome. We are going to just keep hammering Meta, just because, I mean, you look at, essentially where your dollars are best spent, like CPMs generally are actually pretty good compared to a lot of other channels. We do want to, well, we are actually going to be getting kicked off onto TikTok Shop.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a funny one. We've kind of deliberated on it for a while. Obviously, I don't know what it's been like recently in the US with kind of all the changes, but when I looked at TikTok Shop 2 years ago, it was people selling 70 packs of toilet paper.
Yeah.
It's really got to the point now where, as a shopping experience, like it's amazing. I'd say the reason we deliberated on it was from the brand positioning point of view. Just because you do have a lack of control over who's promoting your product, and everywhere else in the business where we look at who we partner with on the athlete side, who we partner with on the creator side, who we partner with brand side as well. Like, we're very protective on that, and we say no to 99% of opportunities, honestly. But I mean, you've ultimately got to look at it as the ultimate awareness channel, really. Obviously you can scale Meta fast, but every channel pretty much has this build period, right? Yeah. I feel like with TikTok, it almost is like you can get invested straight away, and you can, blow up pretty immediately. Yeah. We see it with brands all the time, which are, TikTok shop brands, because they've blown up pretty quick on TikTok and come out of nowhere. So, that's just something where we are just kind of going to treat it as like, that's just the nature of the game and nature of that channel. Yeah. Ultimately, like I said, when we're thinking about D2C, Amazon, retail, this is the channel that's probably going to affect all of those the most. When we just think about visibility for all those other ones. Yeah. So yeah, long form YouTube, we've done a fair bit on in the past. Not too much. It tends to be more kind of documentary style almost. So, working with, again, it's kind of a more of a positioning channel for us. When we sign an athlete, we'll create almost like this short documentary film on them and really highlight them. So yeah, and honestly, we've only just really started dipping our toe into influencer. Yeah. Up until now, we've been super dialed on the athlete side. Again, great for positioning. I think it's amazing that we've built that positioning over the course of the last kind of year and a half, and that is what allows us to then go super hard on the performance side and still be seen as this premium, desirable brand. So yeah.
Do you have? You just touched on it a little bit. You just started with influencers. Is there kind of a dream athlete roster that you have in your head mentally where you're like, God, if I could just get Shohei Ohtani, or there's these levels where you're like, I would love for them to be a Cadence athlete. Is there one or two or three that you are thinking like, God, I wish I could
honestly, we've actually just signed contracts on a couple of them.
Oh, can you tell us or no?
Probably, yeah. I'll probably keep those ones. Yeah, I'll probably keep those ones hidden. But yesterday we just announced Charlie Lawrence, who's the 50-mile world record holder, American record holder for the 100K.
What a beast.
He's yeah, exactly. Like I said, we really, again, it's not just about going after the athletes. It's really like the goal-oriented athlete. Yeah. We want people who are doing real extraordinary things. He's actually part of the team, but we've got Hercules as well, based over here in the UK. I know, what a name, right?
Great name.
Yeah, phenomenal name. Like I said, he's actually on my marketing team. He's our global head of partnerships now. Wow. So, but he's out there running across countries. You know what I'm saying? So he has he is honestly, in a way, kind of the ultimate influencer in kind of what we look
Wow.
for. You know, he's doing extraordinary things, running across Greece, running across Cyprus, like running across all full countries. But yet he has the, you know, the social community, super engaged community on social, and he can promote the heck out of the product more than really anyone else. So
This is what I love about what you
It's crazy.
guys are doing, Mattie, is I find that if you have that laser focus on a specific core group,
Exactly.
athletes, but not just professional athletes, but performance-minded athletes who are doing other interesting things inside of their life, but they're driven and they are
Yeah.
doing a specific thing. By targeting that, I think what you do is you actually avail yourself to reach everyone outside of that
100%. 100%.
That's what I love about what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's it. In a way, you know, like we want to be promoted by also people who have like attainable lives, right? I mean, take Herc, for example. Once again, like he works, you know, just as many hours as anyone else in the job. You know, like he's not like a pro athlete, so to speak. So it makes him, great across the board, really. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we are in the process of signing a couple of more pros on the positioning side. They are phenomenal. And yeah, like ultimately whilst we want to be, you know, the choice of drink for your guy who works in the city and goes to Sweetgreen for his lunch, we also want to be, you know, the fueling option of choice for anyone about to go and run, you know, LA Marathon in a month or so. So we need that aspirational side as well.
Absolutely.
I would love to see you guys be the drink of choice for what's his name? Alex Honnold, the guy who just climbed.
Yeah.
I paid 101. Yeah.
Talk about intense right
sure.
there. He finishes a climb and then he goes very top. We got a can crack.
Yeah.
That's some beauty right there.
Yes.
That's a free gem for you.
100%. I tell you what, though, I hope he's not getting sweaty hands when he's going up there. Too much.
I would.
Yeah,
I can tell you that much.
Sweaty hands thinking about it.
Yeah, it's craziness.
Now, I'll say this. I think what also stands out to me that you have already touched on, Mattie, is the can and the design and the minimalistic feel of everything that you guys do. To me, that really stands out, and it enhances the luxury frame, the top tier performance zenith frame that you guys are focused on. But I have to say, I've seen some people drag it online. They're saying, "Oh, this is millennial core. You know, it's so minimalist. You know, and they're wanting 1,000 colors and 1,000 different things. I don't line up with that. But have you heard that? What do you do if you push back on that? How would you approach that?
You know, I mean, so we've actually rebranded twice since launching this can. So this is actually the most recent UK one. We've got the US one slightly different. But I mean, you know, we started off on, it was literally just a Cadence logo with nothing else on. Looked beautiful. Nobody could really tell what it was, though. Nobody could tell, you know, what it did. You know, so we updated it kind of early last year. You'll still see it on a couple of products on the website. It's literally just a white can with Core 500 on the front, which sounds, sounds cool and it sounds performance-y, but the same thing again, nobody knows what it is. Like, what is Core 500? To the athlete, you might ask them and they might be able to take a guess at like, oh, it's got 500 something in, you know what I mean? So, I mean, ultimately, again, like I said, we're really optimizing this year for success in retail. You know, and like I said, with the other one, you couldn't really tell what it was. You couldn't tell it was a hydration drink. You also couldn't really tell the flavor. It had a little flavor bar just underneath. So, you know, as Ross founder started to realize this, he was like, we need a new can again. So it's actually, it's funny, you know, as we were redesigning this, there was many nights where myself, Ross, and our designer, Matt, who's, by the way, like just killer designer, does everything across the brand now, design-wise, insane. He's probably got, honestly, about 1,000 iterations of this on his Illustrator account.
Crazy.
And he was just, you know, straight up sat there, like on screen share, the three of us on a WhatsApp screen share, just, you know, iterating until he kind of came down to this. And, you know, I think it's definitely in a great place now. It's still got that, you know, beam look to it, but you know, flavor is the big one. Obviously, you can see straight away what flavor it is on the top, and just with the naming core hydration, daily hydration, energy hydration, you see straight away what it's for. I've never really heard many complaints about it. Honestly, most people I know say it looks sick.
It does. It does. I think it does.
Yeah, and you know what? Like again, like with this kind of optimizing for retail, a little worry was like, would we lose that? Would we lose that kind of clean premium feel to it? But I think, yeah, I think Matt's done an awesome job with it. So
I think so.
I
hopefully
totally
this is
agree.
$1 billion can.
Yeah, and I think it's also a little bit of if you know, you know. Like I don't
Yeah,
think you're not mass marketing to every Joe Schmo in the world.
No.
yeah,
You are marketing to a very subsect of subsect, and
yeah,
those people, it's very cultish. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They
yeah, for
know
sure,
it,
for sure.
and if you're in that cool cult, then they
Yeah,
already know. They, you know what I
Yeah.
yeah,
mean? It's a
yeah,
little bit of less
yeah,
education, and
yeah.
you don't want Joe Schmo on the street. You know what I
No,
mean?
exactly.
You want the beast. You want the beast.
Yeah, yeah. In a way, I've kind of seen that. I've kind of seen it play out before. It's like a completely different thing. But previous to Cadence, I was at Represent. I don't know if you'll know that, the clothing
Oh, yeah, yeah,
brand.
yeah. Yeah.
So when I joined there, it was kind of like that. It was kind of like an if you know you know kind of brand.
Yeah.
With like the weekly drops, like people looking forward to it. People sat on their laptop 2 hours before,
It's
like
awesome.
ready to press a button to get on. You know what I mean? And so I've kind of seen what that scale up really looks like, and how to approach it and how to kind of keep those core customers, because the last thing
Yeah.
you want is to go to the mass market and you got your core customer then start to almost resent the fact that
Yeah.
so like I think again
Absolutely.
that's where as we scale up on the performance side, like maintaining, not even maintaining, but scaling up the brand and the community and the activation, all the in real life stuff, scaling that up a lot straight up alongside it, like it just becomes more important.
Yeah.
I think what you've done too with the race line, I think it maintains your brand, but it also makes it really clear because the word is race on there.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
it very clear. Like this is for performance. It is for running. It is for
Yeah.
enduring. So I think
Yeah.
you've struck a great balance on that side, design wise, in addition to clarity and providing
Yeah.
that, for people
Yeah.
who are interested.
Sure.
Mattie, we love what you're doing. And I
Yeah,
think
for
the
sure.
lessons that you've drawn from Represent obviously are coming into play here. I also love that low key, brother, you're a down and dirty, nitty gritty D2C e-com. I mean, 2 weeks before Black Friday, bro, you were still in the ad account yourself. I mean,
yeah.
sometimes when people run across brands that are scaling and performing and look so cool, incredible design, they assume this guy's got a 40-person team and I can't relate to him.
Sure.
Yeah.
But actually
Yeah.
that's not the case. And man,
No,
you guys have been growing
sure.
this thing. It's incredible.
Yeah, we've kept it lean, and like, it kind of got to the back end of last year and I was thinking like, right, if we need to crank this up, like what are just the key couple of channels that we just really need to nail? And yeah, ultimately just like interviewed until I got the absolute best people I could find for those jobs. So
Yeah.
Dig that. Well, man, we know that you are a busy man and we appreciate you joining us on the show. If you would, before you go, man, I'd love you to tell everybody where they can find you, follow along with Cadence, and also just, man, what you're most excited about heading into 2026.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you can find Cadence on Instagram, just at Cadence. Usecadence.com is the website. Just myself, Mattie Martin on LinkedIn, Mattie TJ Martin on Instagram. Don't really use Instagram so much for the for the e-com stuff, but Mattie TJ Martin Mattie TJ Martin on Twitter/X as well. So yeah, in terms of excitement, I mean, we've got Target launch in just less than a month.
Come on!
Wow.
Closely followed by Walmart. So
whoa, man, big moves.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like I said, just honestly, the most I'm most excited about the fact that I've got the team to support it now, and like to kill a group of guys. So yeah,
love it.
Let's
love
go.
it. Wow, Mattie, we appreciate you joining the show, and we look forward to having you back after those
yeah,
launches,
100%.
man.
Let's do it again.
All right,
Awesome.
all right. We appreciate you, Mattie. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Wow.
See you.